Welcome to the Fabcast Episode 3, 15 minutes of clarity, taste, and transformation for promotional marketing procurement in fintech. Today, we're here to discuss why procurement isn't back office bureaucracy. It's the next frontier of brand and finance management. Before we begin, let's define a word that shaped an industry, fintech. Fintech means financial technology, the convergence of software, data, and design that powers modern banking, payments, and investing. But more than a sector, fintech is a style, precision, transparency, and speed expressed as experience. The code, the card, the app, all beautifully engineered, yet one system rarely keeps up: procurement. That's where we come in. At Fabulist, we want to make procurement fashionable. With me today is Jamie Mayer, Senior FinTech Procurement Analyst at Fabulist. Jamie advises growth stage fintechs on aligning brand and spend strategy through AI native procurement design. Jamie, welcome.
Thanks, Lori. So yes, when we started the Fabulist, we kept seeing the same pattern everywhere. Brands spending with intention in marketing, but without structure in procurement. We're here to close that gap.
You often say procurement is a creative discipline with financial outcomes that moves procurement out of operations and into performance. What does this mean day to day?
So day to day, it means data and design share the same strategic table. If you manage spend without brand intent, you get savings, but you lose signal. When we merge them, you get efficiency and equity at the same time. Capital, compliance, and creativity in one workflow. When brand equity and financial efficiency share that same system, every purchase becomes an act of strategy, and that strategy can be procurement strategy or marketing strategy. Let's bring that to life with an example of one of our clients. A Series D fintech was preparing a global launch. So marketing had the message, and finance had the mandate, and procurement had the contract. So what did we find? Well, what we found were three teams, three different vendors, no shared timeline, and no governance layer. Promotional marketing was running a race without a map of the course. So we used Fabulous Promo to visualize the campaign, and we used Fabulous Concierge to direct the process. And our AI layer synced the budgets, the approvals, and all of the brand assets automatically.
And you track performance beyond savings, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were able to align data and design so that we could quantify the impact. So the project actually delivered a brand equity value score of 8.6 out of 10, which showed a really clear jump in perceived quality and stakeholder satisfaction. It also delivered a 22% rise in category management value. And we were able to achieve that by retiring redundant SKUs, aligning our supply chain governance, and reducing the number of vendors in the process.
What about return on marketing investment?
So our statistic for return on marketing investment is called ROMI, ROMI, and our score came in at 4.2 to 1. So in essence, every promotional dollar invested returned over 4 in brand and operational value and efficiency.
Carlo, I think you want to clarify something, right?
I'd like to know how quantifiable was that measurement?
Well, so the most important thing around like brand equity value, so that one is that score is 8.6 out of 10. The question is, okay, well, how is that calculated? And then category management value rose 22% based upon what changed from what was the delta from the baseline. And so now, if you're a marketing procurement person, just like you actually behaved like one, they're going to say, how do you know that? And then we're going to say, because of this data. And then because of how we built in these tools for conversion, like could be a QR code that drives activity to a dedicated landing page and we measure conversion there. Like everything, there's no like this, there are no metrics like this that exist. Whatever the intention is that we set it up for, the ROMI, the CMV, and the brand equity value are are all fine-tuned to that trucker hat, that audience, and what its intention is. So
Yeah.
now we can tell the data story. Here's what happened over 400 units.
I do want to interject here because we did so many analysis of all our campaigns when we were in branding. There are some things, and we go back to this, unless you have a call to action, you do not know some of the things that we talked about on the concierge
Yeah.
page, which is how did it impact? Like maybe 600 hats went out, but what happened after that? Did it move the needle on brand awareness? We can safely say yes because it went out, but what was the reactions? The analysis on the point of how it affected your target market, Carlo, is what you're talking about, I think, in
Yeah.
terms of how do you
Yeah.
measure that? And there are ways to measure it if you factor in a call to action. If 600 hats were sold, then we know people like them. But if we gave away 600 hats
Yeah.
to our employees, we don't know if it's sitting in their back closet. So is it furthering brand awareness?
Right. So I think that all comes down to what I tried to get to was like, if you look at a SKU, most people look at it as a number to identify an item. And so what I was trying to think of is a SKU is a strategic knowledge unit. And so if we know what the strategy is and we have the knowledge for, how we're going to apply that strategy, we can define a bunch of different attributes at the unit level, including the mechanisms to measure. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I've got 600 people in my internal organization because the company's got 300,000 employees. I've got 600 in my one little department. And our team is not performing well at all. And in our small work groups, people are really not being respectful of each other. There's a ton of interrupting, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm sitting there as a department leader and I'm saying, how can I change these people's behavior? What tools do I have at my disposal? How can I communicate it? How can I incent them? How can I make it fun so it doesn't feel like they're being scolded? And they all know that this is a problem. So what am I going to do? Am I going to go to the tchotchke vendor to solve that problem for me and get some hats? Am I going to go to the company store and like figure out, how a trucker hat is going to stop 600 people from interrupting each other and wasting time and dragging productivity and morale into the shitter? You know what? No, but I have this really cool company called Fabulist, and they have this really interesting offering where they bring this fashion idea, this advertising brand experience, all these things, and then they bring it down to just internal performance. So they worked with me on a campaign for 600 of my teammates and they designed a simple landing page that talked about the challenges we're facing as a team. They designed this really funny sign that everyone's going to receive. And then the next piece is if they follow these instructions that we put on this landing page about when someone finishes talking, take a breath. So fill out this little quick thing. Remember, here are the 3 steps. Take a breath, put your hand up, boom. Our meetings will perform better. And please go get our all 600 of us are now on the same team. So get our team trucker cap and we'll send it to your house. And my expectation is, we're going to perform better and we'll send out a survey just being like, hey, did you like being communicated to this way? And it's nice to see everyone wearing their hat on our all team meeting once a month. Like that. So that's the thing, right? In B2B, you can't just go to an HR department and be like, hey, I've got a way to fricking get all your people to stop being dicks on the all company Zoom meeting. And no one's like, oh, call the tchotchke people, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The logic of it is where the whole thing breaks down in corporate because and distributors because all the messages that come at everybody are look at my new foam finger. I have a new big comb. You should get a sample. We can put your logo on it. And it's like none of that's relevant. Like, if a big comb is the tool for the job to drive return on marketing investment, brand equity value, because we're running a funny campaign called, around wellness called Take Care, Comb Your Hair, because there's a lice outbreak. And, we're going to fricking send, combs to everybody. Like, it's so stupid, but like, just have a reason for why you're buying.
Yeah, then that goes back though to most promotional product distributors will not get the chance to work on it on such a level and in depth. A, because they don't care, or maybe not because they don't care. I don't even think that that's the issue. I think that nobody's used to working with us, our industry in
Yeah,
this way, and we need to be asking the right questions so that we make sure that the stuff that we're doing for our clients are meaningful, that do move the needle, that can be as creative as you just spoke about, Jamie, because that is the shift in mindset that we're looking to create, because it's not obvious that we can
yeah,
come in as a promotional product and help solve this problem, because some of the solutions that you described are way outside the field of promotional items. And we talked about it last time about asking the question, the why. The why are we doing this?
And so this is what I want to say is like we started with integrated promotional advertising. And now if you take integrated promotional advertising and you merge that with promotional marketing procurement, merge it, integrate it. So now we have a new category, literally a new category called integrated promotional marketing procurement. And the procurement people will be interested. The marketing people will be interested. The marketing procurement people will be interested. The marketing people who run promotion will be interested. And the data security people will love the word integrated, even though it actually is referring to a bunch of different marketing disciplines. So it's like in that definition of a brand new category, because it's not promotional products, it's not procurement, it's not direct, it's not indirect, it's not. And so now if we go even deeper, so here's procurement. There's called strategic procurement, there's emerging strategic procurement. Emerging strategic is exactly where Fabulist would fit. So there's all these classifications that they'll look at and they'll be like, yep, Fabulist fits in this box. So I've already engineered this to be non-essential spend, long tail, below the line, so that the marketing procurement person knows, okay, it's not above the line, it's not advertising. Okay, good, I get it. And so like all of this thought has been engineered back to the why, and the why is simple. Nobody can measure their procurement value of their tchotchkes. Nobody, nobody. And so if the real end game is like think before you buy and then justify, then we are so in the catbird seat because it comes back to here's your why. You bought 600 hats because people were freaking interrupting themselves all week and you got no productivity from your team. So you bought the hats to change people's behavior. And here's the program that Fabulous Concierge designed, built, launched, and managed. And here were the results. And we started with the idea was, can we change people's behavior? And we did it through a fun technique called intention, design, education, and activation. And that's an acronym for the word idea. And now we've got a framework where we know how to design and build ideas together in the context of speaking around a category that doesn't exist because it's a jambalaya today, but we're going to make it simple. Integrated promotional marketing procurement. That's fashionable procurement quantified. Governance, efficiency, and equity all in one frame. And when the numbers tell the story and the brand looks the part, everyone believes in the process. Finance, marketing, and procurement alike all come together at the same table. And so integration, as far as we're concerned, between marketing and procurement is the new innovation. And when brand and finance operate in isolation, cost control kills creativity. When they share a governed system, each strengthens the other. And procurement becomes the translation layer between vision and value. You can measure return on marketing investment and prove it in real time.
So, for teams still running promo spend through email and spreadsheets, what's the first step to catch up?
So the first step to catch up is really start with visibility. So if you can't see the nuances in your category spend, it's really hard to optimize it. So that's why we offer a category gap analysis to show where your process breaks before your budget does. And so if you think about the category gap analysis, it's this combination of finance and marketing and merchandising and design, and we look across your entire spend portfolio and determine where the gaps are. And those gaps can be gaps in stakeholder budgeting, those gaps can be in SKU management, inventory management, and it makes decisions on how to optimize. So it really comes down to measurement before momentum. Once you see the gaps, you can close them, and we'll help you align your brand's intent and financial discipline so every campaign or project runs as smoothly as your tech stack.
Right. So thank you, Jamie. Got it. Procurement is no longer just a function. It's fashion for how business looks and works. So that's a wrap. Redefining promotional marketing procurement in fintech. Thanks for listening in. The Fabcast is produced by Fabulist, where art, science, and design converge in the business of promo. Until next time.